4:36, moving on to our other top stories now this morning. In New Britain, an investigation underway right now after a police officer shot somebody. That person was believed to have been involved in a shooting from earlier in the day. Let's take you out. Pinpoint News Tracker takes us straight to the area where that happened near Herald Square, just about a mile from the initial investigation. That's where we find your reporter Anna Stansfield outside the police department right now with the very latest. Anna, good morning.
Okay, good morning. Right now, the Inspector General and state police have taken over this investigation, and at this point, they're still releasing very little details about what happened. But we do know they were out at the scene for hours last night, combing for evidence. After a shots-fired incident in New Britain earlier in the day, police started looking for suspects. Around 3 o'clock yesterday afternoon, they found someone who fit the description of the person they were looking for walking with someone else. That's when officers tried to stop the two men, but they ran off. As police chased after them, an officer shot towards the suspects, hitting one of them. We're told they have been taken to the hospital. Investigators say after the shooting, a firearm was found near one of the people involved, and another gun was taken from the second person after he was taken into custody. No one else was hurt in this shooting, and as the investigation continues here this morning, as soon as we get more information about what happened into our newsroom, we're to bring you the very latest on air and on the WFSB app. For now, though, I'm your reporter live in New Britain, Anna Stansfield, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.